The Abby Choi mutilation case was a murder case that occurred in the New Territories of Hong Kong on February 21, 2023. The victim in the case was Kai Tianfeng, a 28-year-old socialite who was active in the fashion industry. The body of the victim in this case was found in Lung Mei Estate, Tai Mei Tuk, Tai Po, New Territories, 3 days after he was reported missing on February 24, 2023. One article summarizes the background of Abby Choi's mutilated body. She was cooked in a soup pot and her ex-husband, Kwong Kong Chi, and his family were murdered. The Abby Choi mutilation case was a murder case that occurred in the New Territories of Hong Kong on February 21, 2023. The victim in the case was Kai Tianfeng, a 28-year-old socialite who was active in the fashion industry. The body of the victim in this case was found in Lung Mei Estate, Tai Mei Tuk, Tai Po, New Territories, 3 days after he was reported missing on February 24, 2023. When the body was discovered, the police removed a large number of evidence from the unit involved and seized the 7-person car involved. In the early morning of February 25, 2023, the police explained the case in Longwei Village. Superintendent of the Crime Department of the West Kowloon region, Chung Ya-lun, pointed out that after receiving a missing report on February 22, 2023, the police launched an investigation into the case and arrested her ex-husband Kwong Kong Chi's family of 3 in the early morning of February 24 in Kowloon City District. A total of 2 men and 1 woman, including the ex-uncle Kwang Gangji, ex-family member Weng Kwangchu, and ex-aunt Li Ruixiang, who picked up Kai Tianfeng on the day of the incident. The ex-husband himself was on the run for a time. Subsequently, the police interrogated 3 people and found that one of them made a false confession, claiming that Kai Tianfeng got out of the car while the car was driving, trying to confuse the direction of the investigation, and was eventually discovered. After investigation, the police identified the location of the crime at a village house unit in Lung Mei Estate, Tai Po, which was rented by Kwong Chu in the month of the incident. Later, on the afternoon of February 24, the police broke into the house with a search warrant and found the remains of the deceased's legs in the refrigerator. The head, torso and hands were missing, and there were also 2 pots of soup suspected of being mixed with human tissue. In addition, the house also contained meat slices, electric saws, windbreakers, gloves, masks and other tools believed to be used to dismember the remains. The furniture in the house is very simple, with only a few tables and sofas, no beds, and canvases hanging on the walls and windows. After preliminary investigation, the police suspected that the motive for the crime was related to property disputes and inheritance rights. Information shows that Kai Tianfeng purchased the low-rise luxury property in Kadoorie Hill in July 2019 for a contract price of 72.8 million Hong Kong dollars without any mortgage. After deducting the 16.75% rebate provided by the developer, the actual transaction price was 60.606 million Hong Kong dollars. Abby Choi already owns other residential properties in Hong Kong. According to the stamp duty ordinance, she is required to pay ad valorem stamp duty to the Inland Revenue Department at the standard rate of 15% of the contract price. She is suspected of using ad valorem stamp duty to avoid paying high stamp duty. Using the borrowing head method, the Kadoorie Hill property is assigned to Kwang Chu's name. Kwang Chu registers with the Land and Land Department as a first-time home buyer, and can use a lower tax rate to pay stamp duty at 4.25% of the contract price. He only needs to pay the tax. The payment amounted to approximately 3 million Hong Kong dollars, which allowed tax avoidance of approximately 7.8 million Hong Kong dollars compared to the original tax rate of 15%. Note: the property was also given to the Kwang family to live in. However, Kai Tianfeng borrowed someone's head, this time to avoid paying the standard tax rate of 15%. Stamp duty not only involves conspiracy to make false statements and fraud, but also risks being pursued by the Tax Bureau and criminal prosecution. It also lays the foundation for property disputes with the Kwong family. Later, Abby Choi planned to sell the Kadoorie Hill property to cash out, selling it at a price of 63 Hong Kong dollars to 67 million. The contract price had a book loss of about 5 Hong Kong dollars to 10 million. However, after deducting the rebate provided by the developer at the time of purchase, if it could be sold for 67 million Hong Kong dollars. If resold in Hong Kong dollars, excluding stamp duty and tax avoidance costs, the book profit should be approximately 6.394 million Hong Kong dollars. In order to prompt the Kwong family to move out of the Kadoorie Hill property for resale, Abby Choi proposed to the Kwong family to move to a property in Tuen Mun worth approximately 10 million Hong Kong dollars. However, Kwong Chu strongly opposed it and caused a rift between the two parties. Abby Choi once sought legal advice from a lawyer, believing that if there was evidence that Kai Tianfeng was the behind-the-scenes purchaser of the Kadoorie Hill property, she would have the opportunity to obtain the proceeds from the sale of the property. Kwang Chu may have learned that Abby Choi would be suing for the Kadoorie Hill property. Legal action was taken on the property rights and interests, and Kai Tianfeng did not register her marriage to her current husband. In the absence of a will, her inheritance would theoretically be inherited by her pair of children born to her ex-husband Kwong Kong Chi. Even if Kai Tianfeng and her current husband Tan Fangjun, a pair of illegitimate children, also have the right to inherit, and the Kwang family can get at least half of the inheritance. It cannot be ruled out that the Kwang family may have murderous intentions for these two reasons. The police initially believed that Kwang Gangji was involved in the murder, and his mother Li Ruixiang also knew about it but did not commit the murder. However, during the arraignment on May 8, 2023, the prosecution revealed that Li Ruixiang's DNA was detected on a jacket in the unit where the crime occurred. The police are also investigating whether the village house in Lung Mei Estate involved was the scene of the first murder. The police initially suspected that Abby Choi's head was abandoned in Cheung Kwan O on the morning of February 25, 2023. They went to the Cheung Kwan O Chinese Permanent Cemetery to collect evidence. There were more than 100 divers from the operation department, police search teams, aerial search teams, and police drones. Police officers from the team, police dog unit and mobile unit participated in the operation. The search area was 200 to 300 meters in diameter, covering the hillside of the cemetery and the storage tank. Since it was not ruled out that the body might roll along the hillside into the storage tank, frogmen sneaked into the tank. Investigation. The search operation lasted the entire afternoon, but no major findings were found. It is expected to continue the next day. On the afternoon of the same day, Kwong Kong Chi was arrested while absconding on a speedboat at the Tung Chung Development Pier. At that time, he was carrying more than 500,000 Hong Kong dollars in cash and several dogs. a total of more than 4 million Hong Kong dollars worth of luxury watches. He had previously been wanted for arrest with a reward of 2 million Hong Kong dollars. On the afternoon of February 26, 2023, the police found Kai Tianfeng's head in a large soup pot about half a meter high that was seized from a residence in Longwei Village. The appearance of the head was still complete, but a hole of about 6.5 centimeters by 5.5 centimeters was found behind the right ear. The hole may have been caused by the impact of a hard object, and there were minced meat and green carrots in the pot. It is understood that the suspect put green carrots into a large soup pot and cooked them together with the skull and sternum of the deceased. After cooking, the bones and flesh were separated, with only a few hairs sticking together, and the soup base turning white and turbid. In addition, the police also found another small soup pot in the unit where the crime occurred. The color of the soup was relatively light. It is estimated that the suspect cooked the deceased's clavicle meat into the current state. On the afternoon of the same day, the police arrested Kwong Chu's mistress Wu Zhirong on the streets of Chim Sha Choi. NV worked as a masseur at a massage shop in Sham Shui Po. She met Kwong Chu, who visited the shop a few months ago, and shared the house involved in the case in Lung Mei Estate with her. In mid-February before the incident, she rented a residence at the Arc de Triomphe on Austin Road West in West Kowloon for a monthly rent of more than 40,000 Hong Kong dollars to harbor Kwong Kong Chi, who was suspected of assisting criminals. On February 28, the police sent more than 100 personnel, wearing full protective clothing, to the Northeast New Territories landfill in Ta Kwu Ling to search for the body parts of the deceased. Superintendent of the Criminal Division of West Kowloon Region, Chung Yalan, said that the target area is about the size of a football field and is 3 to 5 meters deep. Workers need to remove the garbage before the police search. The search process is expected to take 2 to 3 days. On the morning of the same day, more than 10 relatives and friends, including the deceased's parents, husband, and parents-in-law, first went to Fushan Mortuary in Sha Tin to identify the body, and then moved to the village house in Lung Mei Estate, Tai Po to pay their respects. Among them, the deceased's aunt cried out, "In this life, your kindness has been given to the wrong person. Silly girl. Your heart has been eaten by the wolf-hearted people." On March 2, the police arrested 41-year-old man Lam Shun in Sheung-Wan. He is a male employee of a yacht rental company. He was once an assistant to artist Cheng Jung-ji and a friend of Kwong Kong Chi. He was suspected of receiving 300,000 Hong Kong dollars to assist Kwong Kong Chi. The waterway leaves Hong Kong for Macau. On the same day, the police also announced that the search for evidence at the landfill was completed and no evidence was found. On March 6, a 29-year-old woman, Pan Qiaozhan, who was suspected of assisting the perpetrators, was arrested in the mainland. She was a friend of Kwong Hong Kong and was extradited back to Hong Kong the next day. The police stated on March 7 that she was received by mainland law enforcement at the Shenzhen Bay port that day. The agency returned a 29-year-old local female suspect related to a murder case. She was suspected of assisting criminals and later fled to the mainland. He was escorted back to Tin Shui Wai police station for investigation. On the same day, Kai Tianfeng's mother, Zhang Yanhua, filed a petition with the High Court as Kai Tianfeng's proposed estate administrator. She pointed out that Kwong Chu was only acting as Kai Tianfeng's trustee and only held the title to the Kaduri Hill property on behalf of Kai Tianfeng in the form of a trust, while Kai was the beneficial owner. The owner, therefore, hopes that the court will issue an order confirming that Kai is the real owner, and requests the court to order to prohibit Kwong Chu or his agents from selling, disposing, transferring, dealing with the unit involved in the case, or charging money for the unit involved in the case without the plaintiff's prior consent or knowledge. Any fees and title to the property must be returned to the plaintiff.